Howdy, I'm Daniel Aguillon, Around the World, recorded in 1997 by artist Daft Punk, relates to the theme of percussion within electronic music as it uses drum samples throughout the song to create a constant underlying beat. It also uses repetition of certain words as well as quantized drum machine percussion to create a hypnotic like trance-like effect. Because of this, it uses percussion throughout the entirety of the song, as well as blending it with their own electronic music, such as their higher octave beats. This diagram seen on the screen shows both similarities between Around the World and Go Spastic by Square Pusher. The first similarity between the two songs is that they have a similar octave in their beats, as their song is in the higher of the pitch range. The difference between both songs is that Go Spastic use electronic music to create certain beats that give off a futuristic type of feel when listening to their music. This falls into the theme of percussion within electronic music. In Ghost Bastic, they sometimes use lyrics to give the song tempo, which can also be seen in Around the World. This can be seen as soon as 40 seconds into the song and occurs often throughout the song. In the song Around the World, the use of lyrics changing the tempo can be seen throughout the entire song, but begins at 1 minute and 5 seconds, and they only use Around the World but change the length and rhythm of those three words to give the song a different rhythm and beat throughout the entire song. The difference between these two songs is that in Ghost Basic, there's never a constant tempo or beat, as the music they produce is very random, very inconsistent. So even though it falls into percussion, it uses a variety of different types of beats. Around the world, there's a more constant beat, which is set like 5 seconds into the song, and the beat is followed throughout the entire song. The only thing that's really changing is the tempo of the words. Even though these are differences, those are again examples of percussion within the two songs. The second song, I'm gonna compare Around the World with is Guillotine by John Billion. Um, the similarities between the two songs is that they use similar machines to make their beats and sound more humanoid. Seen as John Williams stated that he uses an MPC to make his noises, and Daft Punk uses computers to make their beats. These beats can be heard throughout the entire song and not just at one point. Because of this, both songs show their use of percussion while within electronic music. There, however, are far more differences between the two songs, as can be seen, since it only has one similarity and five differences over here, four differences over here. For example, in Around the World, the beat is constant, very rarely changes throughout the song. However, in Guillotine, the beat is never really consistent and often changes rhythms and beats, whether it be with his vocal cords or with the beats he produced with his MPC, like using different drum samples, using his vocal samples to create a swing beat, stuff like that. While in Around the World, it uses repetition of certain words, and it uses the repetition of beats to create a same tempo or like a consistent tempo. The constant beat of Around the World begins at 15 seconds into the song, and from then on, it's pretty much the same beat that is heard throughout the whole song. While in Guillotine, there's never really a consistent or repeating beat that can be heard or seen as a loop. So it's just different beats heard throughout the entire song. The next difference between the two songs is the fact that Daft Punk uses vocals to to cause a change of rhythm within the song, while John Billion uses his beats and drums to change rhythms of the song. The change in rhythm with the use of vocals can be seen at 113 into the song of Around the World and 115 into the song of Around the World. Where at 113 they use Around the World, and at 115 they also use Around the World, but in a different tempo, causing a shift in rhythm. While in Guillotine so from 30 seconds all the way to 40 seconds of the song, the beats is very different and there's never really consistent. And that can give you an example of how John Bellion not only uses his voice, but also uses his MPC machine and percussion beats made to change the rhythm and tempo of the song.